Thank you for purchasing new Halo Surface Mount LED, the next generation of ultra-low profile, high-performance LED luminaires. This video will help guide you as you install the SMD luminaire, but it should not be used in lieu of your instruction manual, which includes additional and important safety information. And above all, please confirm that all power is disconnected before you begin installation. The SMD is available in both direct mount and housing and J-box mount, and this video will feature both installation techniques. Please be sure to follow along to the version that matches your product. Let's first take a look at the installation of the direct mount SMD luminaire. The direct mount SMD packaging contents include the following items. And in order to complete the installation, you will need to use the following tools. First, locate the position of the luminaire within the ceiling and then cut a hole in the ceiling by using the provided template. Make sure that the opening is not larger than the outer flange of the luminaire. Next, open the cover of the J-box and insert the supply wires through the strain reliefs. Connect the black and white leads from the output of the driver to the appropriate supply side wiring using the provided wire nuts. Then connect the ground wire from the J-box to the supply connection using the provided wire nut. Properly secure the supply wires and close the cover of the J-box. Lastly, bundle the excess wiring and place into the ceiling. Pull back on both mousetrap springs and guide the luminaire through the opening in the ceiling until the perimeter flange is flush against the ceiling. Upon release of the mousetrap springs, the luminaire will now hold tight to the ceiling. Let's now take a closer look at the installation of the housing and J-box mount SMD luminaire. The housing and J-box mount SMD can be installed two ways. It can be directly mounted to an existing junction box or attached to an existing downlight housing. The housing and J-box mount SMD packaging contents include the following items. And in order to complete the installation, you will need to use the following tools. Let's first look at the SMD installation to an existing junction box. Use the provided harness assembly adapter and wire nuts to connect to the supply leads inside the existing junction box. Next, secure the included trim plate to the existing junction box using two of the provided 1-inch junction box screws. Please note that if you are installing square SMD luminaires, the orientation and alignment should be considered while mounting the trim plate. Plug the orange connector on the back side of the SMD luminaire into the orange connector from the harness assembly and bundle any excess wire inside the existing junction box. Lastly, align the back of the SMD luminaire so that it will pass through the opening on the trim plate. Snap the spring clip of the luminaire into the trim plate by pressing on the center of the lens until a click is heard. Let's now take a look at the SMD installation into an existing housing. First, screw the provided Edison base adapter into the existing Edison base socket within the existing housing. Follow the installation manual and properly attach the ground wire from the trim plate to the existing housing. Next, determine which installation hardware is required to mount the trim plate to the existing housing. The SMD retrofit luminaire comes with 2 torsion springs and 2 friction clips. Select the appropriate hardware and mount them to the trim plate. Insert the trim plate into the existing housing and push upwards until the trim plate rests against the ceiling. Plug the orange connector from the back of the SMD luminaire into the orange connector attached to the provided Edison base adapter and bundle excess wire inside the housing. Lastly, align the back of the SMD luminaire so that it will pass through the opening on the trim plate. Snap the spring clip of the luminaire into the trim plate by pressing on the center of the lens until a click is heard. Congratulations on completing the installation of new Halo Surface Mount LED. It's time to turn the power back on and enjoy the long-lasting features of this ultra-low profile, high-performance LED luminaire.